The Chinese Grand Prix in Formula One is making a comeback to the calendar after being absent for 5 years, leaving teams with more questions than answers. 5 years is a very long time in Formula One, and it feels even longer due to the global pandemic that halted F1's visits to Shanghai. The last time F1 went to China, Max Verstappen had won only 5 races, and RB was still racing under the name Toro Rosso instead of its current name, AlphaTauri. Meanwhile, while the Shanghai International Circuit served as a makeshift COVID-19 hospital in 2022 instead of hosting major motor racing events, F1 underwent extensive regulation changes, and Pirelli introduced different tires mounted on larger rims. Pirelli warned that teams are essentially starting from scratch on Friday. Although the layout itself hasn't changed, the lack of any kind of action over the past few years suggests that the circuit surface may have aged significantly. Leading up to the event, several bumps were smoothed out to accommodate the more sensitive ground effect machinery. Choosing China to host the first sprint format of the year has raised some eyebrows, with Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz both questioning whether it was really the right move for this year. The sprint format adds an extra layer of complexity for teams, giving them only 60 minutes of free practice to validate their setups, with a heightened focus on simulation work. According to Mercedes trackside engineering director Andrew Shovlin, diving straight into a sprint race presents a good challenge. With the differences in tires and aerodynamics compared to previous generations of cars, there's a lot of groundwork to cover, much of which is done through simulation. However, reviewing past data on tire performance and degradation also plays a significant role in preparation. Despite the challenges, there's a sense of excitement and motivation because a successful sprint race can offer greater opportunities, especially if other teams falter. This is particularly relevant for teams like McLaren, which may struggle on the Shanghai circuit due to its layout favoring cars with different characteristics. While McLaren's team principal Andrea Stella recognizes the added complications of the sprint format, it could work to their advantage if they handle their Friday running better than their competitors. Stella pondered philosophically that difficulties could also be viewed as opportunities, as everyone faces challenges, potentially offering a chance to gain an advantage. Ideally, China wouldn't have been chosen for a sprint event. However, it's not within our control to influence. So, we need to set aside any concerns and focus on performing well, Stella added. A significant change in the revised format allows teams a second chance to adjust their setups, as Parc Ferme reopens after Saturday morning's sprint race, providing an opportunity for tweaks before the Grand Prix qualifying session. The crucial question remains whether these challenges will cause Red Bull to stumble or if the team will maintain its dominant performance. Shanghai's track characteristics often lead to graining issues, with tires cooling off on long straights before enduring demanding corner combinations, resulting in rubber degradation. Ferrari has historically excelled on circuits where graining is prevalent, as seen in last month's Australian Grand Prix, where Carlos Sainz claimed victory after Max Verstappen encountered early troubles. Additionally, in Las Vegas last year, Charles Leclerc came close to beating Verstappen to victory. When asked if Ferrari could perform as strongly in China as it did in Australia, Red Bull team boss Christian Horner acknowledged, "Ferrari was certainly competitive on that circuit, and we anticipate them to be our closest competitor in China. The circuit is quite impressive. The first corner seems to go on forever, and with the high-speed corners leading onto the back straight, it really puts a strain on the front left tire," noted one observer. With temperatures expected to remain around the 20°C mark, the colder weather conditions could worsen graining issues, potentially favoring the Scuderia. Ferrari chief Fred Vasseur expressed concerns about the condition of the tarmac, particularly with the likelihood of colder temperatures compared to the previous event. The texture of the tarmac is a big unknown, especially with the colder weather. This will be crucial for the weekend to determine if graining will be an issue or not. With only one practice session and the sprint format, choosing the right tire compound for Friday becomes pivotal, Vasseur emphasized. Despite Ferrari's strong start to Fridays, Vasseur remained cautious, emphasizing the importance of humility in such a competitive environment. While we've consistently performed well at the start of each weekend, we must remain humble. The competition is incredibly tight, and what works one weekend may not necessarily apply to the next. We must approach each race with a fresh perspective and be prepared to adapt, Vasseur concluded. Don't forget to hit the like button if you found this information helpful and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on all the latest Formula One news. Don't miss out on any updates.